in the Bhagavad Pravaham. Before I bring the PowerPoint. So Bhagavad Pravaham, where are we now? We have heard 10th canto. 10th canto. So we heard the overview of Bhagavatam, and then Bhagavatam, how Bhagavatam is Sakshat Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah, that we have heard. And then whole Bhagavatam, summary of it in 1 hour. First canto, second canto, third canto, fourth canto, fifth canto, sixth canto, seventh canto, eighth canto, ninth canto, 10th canto, Ashray Tattva. We have heard it all, taken it all. And now we are in 11th canto now, entering into 11th canto. So, the 10 subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. Atra sargo visargascha sthanam poshanamutaya manvantara ishanukada nirodho muktirashraya. So, Ashraya Tattva was heard in the 10th canto. Now we are entering into the next topic, Mukti. Mukti is liberation. So why is this 11th canto called Mukti? That we will hear. We will hear the flow of Bhagavatam from the 10th canto to 11th canto. That way we will know all the contents of the 11th canto, overview of the 11th canto. Yeah. And then we will cover the first bit of the 11th canto today. So in the 10th canto, after explaining all the pastimes of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj was asking about the destruction of Yadu dynasty. How did that happen? Then Sukadeva Goswami, he starts explaining about how the Lord was thinking that it was time for him to wind down his pastimes on this planet. Yeah. So that's why the setting of the scene for the destruction of Yadu dynasty, that's the first topic in the 11th canto. Yeah. And after that, so because of the Brahmana's curse, then the Yadu dynasty is destined to be destroyed. So when everybody hears that Vasudeva, father of Lord Krishna, he gets more anxious, and he was thinking, the destruction of the dynasty is coming soon. And Lord Krishna is here, but I always saw him as a son. But maybe I did not worship him properly. Maybe I did not ask him for more than just being a son. Or maybe there is something that I'm missing, so I should ask Devarshi Narada. So Vasudeva asked Narada Muni about the subject matter of liberation and devotion. So that's the second topic in the 11th canto. That is explained under Navayoga. Nimi Maharaj meeting Navayogendras. That's because when Vasudeva asks this question to Narada Muni says, oh yeah, I have the answer for you. This answer is given by the 9 Yogendras, Navayogendras. So in that way, the second topic is Maharaj Nimi meets Navayogendra. That we will discuss today. Yeah. But the next topic is in the 11th canto. After Narada Muni instructs Vasudeva, then demigods come down. Brahma and all other demigods, they come down to Dwaraka and then offer respects to Krishna and says, okay, Lord, thank you for obliging our request. Now, if you choose to do so, you may please go back to your transcendental realm. So demigods and Brahma, they offer their respects. Then Uddhava will be there, hearing this, the conversation of demigods and Krishna. And then Uddhava comes to know that the Lord is going to wind down his pastimes and is going to disappear from this planet. Then Uddhava asks Lord Krishna, can I come with you, my Lord? I can bear this separation. I want to come to your realm with you. Can you please take me? Then Lord Krishna says, I have a mission for you. I have a service for you. And he gives Gita, Uddhava Gita, like Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, Uddhava Gita to Uddhava. This Uddhava Gita is the longest philosophical subject matter in the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is more about liberation. A to Z, all the topics are discussed in Uddhava Gita. About the Karma Kanda, about the Sankhya, about the Ashtanga Yoga, about the Vedanta, about the Bhakti, about the fruitive activities, about the deity worship, about Varnashrama, A to Z. Everything described there in Uddhava Gita. Yeah. And because most part of it is about jnana, about liberation, this 11th canto is said to be the subject matter of mukti. Of course, ashraya is there. Krishna is already there. But this is why it is called mukti. The subject matter mukti is discussed here in Uddhava Gita. So in this way, Lord Krishna instructs Uddhava Gita to Uddhava and says, your service is to go, please convey this message to the Badrikashrama people. Done. And then the final thing, after Uddhava goes there to Badrikashrama, here the Dwaraka Vasis and the Dwaraka gets submerged into the sea, and the Lord is about to leave this planet, and Uddhava comes back again. And of course, the Uddhava Gita is continued there. And finally, Uddhava is sent back to Badrikashrama again, and then the Lord disappears from this planet. This beautiful description that was given in Srimad Bhagavatam, how he disappears. So this is about the 11th canto, overall view. Yeah. First topic is about setting the scene for the destruction of Yadu dynasty. Second topic is Maharajnimi meeting Navayogendras. Third one is demigods come and offer prayers to Lord Krishna, and Uddhava Gita starts there. Yeah, Uddhava Gita goes long. After that, at the very end, disappearance of the Lord, disappearance of Lord Krishna from this planet, and submersion of Dwaraka into the waters. That's the last topic. This is 11th canto. It's more like a continuation of the 10th canto, right? Because submersion and then disappearance of the Lord is happening in the 11th canto. But this subject matter, 11th canto, is separately categorized under Mukti because of Uddhava Gita. This is 11th canto. Good. So in 11th canto, today we are going to hear about setting the scene for the destruction of Yadu dynasty. And then Maharajnimi meets Navayogendras. So these two subject matters. The first one is crisp, small. The second one we want to focus. There is so much there for us because it's about the process of devotional service, and Navayogendras, they are coming and talking about the devotional service. Beautiful, beautiful. So in the first one, I'll show you the PowerPoint about setting the scene for the destruction of Yadu dynasty. Yeah, you will see that we will cover that within few minutes only. The second topic, I'll give you the overview for the second one. So when we go through the PowerPoint, you will know it. It's more in the PowerPoint, so you will be able to understand that better. So I will show this to you. All right. 11th canto. 11th canto, dear devotees. And yes, thanks so much to Gaurang Darshan Prabhu for allowing us to use the slides from Bhagavata Vidyalaya. Okay, so 11th canto, Mukti. Yeah, so as we have just heard, Parikshit Maharaj has asked what happened. Then Sukadev Goswami said, oh yeah, what happened was the young boys of Yadus, they were playing whimsically with the saints, the sages. The sages got angry and cursed the Yadu dynasty, and all that happened because Lord was thinking that he has to wind down his pastimes. So the destruction has happened and the Lord left this planet. That's it. Crisp, said Sukadeva Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj says, no, that is very concise one. How come the members of Yadu dynasty, they are very ideal and they are very respectful to each other and to the Brahmanas also. They are very respectful to the Brahmanas. How come they played whimsically with the Brahmanas? And how come Brahmanas curse Yadu dynasty? The dynasty in which the Lord came. And those are the questions. Parikshit Maharaj said, would you please, Guru Varya, would you please answer this? And then Sukadeva Goswami says, so as the Lord was thinking, dear devotees, as the Lord was thinking, maybe it's time. See, I have cut down the burden of the earth quite a bit with the help of Arjuna with this Kurukshetra war. But I see a significant burden is still present because of my own family, the Yadus, because they're in millions. I should do something about it. As the Lord was thinking, these boys in the Yadu dynasty, they started whimsically playing with these sages, saints. So, as the Lord was thinking, these boys started. They started. Yeah, they were whimsical and they were kind of playful with the saints. Yeah. So all these boys, they dressed up Samba as a girl, and then as a pregnant girl, they put something on his belly, and then made her look like a pregnant girl, and then took her to the saints and said, oh, the saints, our respects to you. You know very well, huh? You know everything that is happening. Can you tell us about this girl? She's pregnant. Do you know if she's going to give birth to a boy or a girl? Would you please tell us? So they were sarcastically joking and testing the saints, the sages, and of course they got very angry with this, and then they cursed, saying, okay, this very pregnant lady, so-called pregnant lady, is going to give a birth to a club, iron club, and that very iron club is going to destroy your whole Yadu dynasty. Wow, that's a big curse. It's not just cursing one boy or that boy who has dressed up as a girl, but the whole dynasty. Yadu dynasty. Big curse. So these boys were so scared. They knew what the impact is. They ran to the assembly of Ugrasena and they relayed this message, and they trembled with fear. Ugrasena also. Because curse of the saints, they don't go in vain. So Ugrasena ordered, okay, this club, yeah, when the sages cursed like that, these boys, they actually saw the club on the belly of this Shamba. So the club, they brought it to Ugrasena's place. This is the club there, an iron club. So Ugrasena said, oh, okay, grind this into powder, iron powder, grind it and put it in the ocean. They did it, and all that particles, the dust particles of the powdered particles of the iron particles, they came to the shore. From the ocean came to the shore, and over a period of time, they grew into iron canes, like sugar canes, iron canes. And a chunk of this club was swallowed by a fish, and that fish was caught by a fisherman, and that fisherman gave this to a hunter, and the hunter, when he cut the fish, he found a chunk of this iron, and that particular chunk of iron was made as the spearhead of the arrow. And this is the same iron piece that was used by the hunter Jara and supposedly not killed Krishna, but hunter Jara, he shot Lord Krishna with this iron piece. And that's how the Maushala Leela comes to an end. That's the end of the 11th canto there. But this is the piece of iron though. So that's what happened to the iron club. They grew as canes, iron canes there. And the iron piece went into the hands of Jara. Supreme Lord Krishna is aware of everything that is happening. But he sanctioned all of those events. Of course, he was thinking what to do to decrease the burden. And that's why everything is happening. So he sanctioned all of those events. And now, since this happened, Vasudeva, as we just heard, Vasudeva, Narada Muni was in Dwaraka most part of the time because Bhagavan Krishna is there. So Vasudeva was requesting Narada Muni to please enlighten him about the Bhagavad Dharma and what he should be doing. Because now Vasudeva is also getting more alert and anxious. If he has done everything he needs to be doing, and if he has worshipped the Lord, he should be worshipping. So that's why he's inquiring Narada Muni. Okay, dear devotees, this is going to be the cream of the subject matter now. What did Narada Muni say? Narada Muni, yeah. Vasudeva, he was saying how beautifully he was how aptly he's glorifying the Narada Muni. He's saying, see, with the demigods are mixed devotees. With the arrival of demigods, there can be happiness or distress. The effect of the demigods can be happiness or distress, pleasure or pain. But the effect of pure devotees always auspicious and only happiness. So, oh Narada Muni, oh Devarshi Narada, would you please enlighten me about the liberation and about Bhagavad Dharma? So that's what Vasudeva has requested Narada Muni. And our Narada Muni, he congratulates Vasudeva. Oh, thank you so much, Vasudeva. Thank you for your wonderful question. I really mean thank you because you have reminded me about my Bhagavan. And I get the privilege and pleasure to think about him and to speak about him. So thank you, Vasudeva. I will tell you about the Bhagavad Dharma. Do you know what the potency of bhakti is? Do you know what bhakti is? And Narada Muni says, Shruto anupatito dhyatha ardito va anumoditaha satyah punati saddharmo deva vishwadruhopihi. That's the potency of bhakti. This is so beautiful, dear devotees. This is what we are doing. This is the potency of bhakti. Shruto, hearing about Bhagavan. Anupatito, you reciting about Bhagavan. Dhyata, dhyana, meditating, thinking about Bhagavan. Adrato is with faith. Yes, the bhakti that is given to us is the way to go with complete faith, complete hope. Adrato is with faith and respect. Va anumodita. This is one more important element. Anumodita is taking pleasure in others doing bhakti. Oh, how wonderful that you are doing this bhakti. How wonderful is your service. Anumodita. I'm happy for you. How glorious is your service. Sadhya punati saddharmo. When somebody does this, these four things, with that respect and faith, sadhya, Sadhya is like that. Very soon. Punati, they get purified. Sadharmo, Deva Vishwadruho apihi. Even though they are envious to Deva, demigods, Vishwadruhopi, to anyone on the planet. Wow. Isn't that so potent? So bhakti is very potent. As simple as it is, as Narada Muni is saying, so potent it is. What else can be so potent that one can, that it can take the enviousness of a conditioned soul? It has to be very potent. That's bhakti. Narada Muni says that. And then he says, yeah, so this is the potency of bhakti. I will now answer your question, Vasudeva. Your question to me was asked by Maharaj Nimi to Navayogendras. So I will tell you what those Navayogendras told Nimi Maharaj. Once upon a time, King Nimi was doing a sacrifice, and these Navayogendras, you remember the devotees, King in the dynasty of Priyavrata, then Rishabhadeva has 100 sons. In those 100 sons, 100 sons, 9 of them are they have become these Mahabhagavatas, and 81 of them, they were proponents of karma khandis, like that. So these Navayogendras, they are the sons of Rishabhadeva. They are Mahabhagavatas, enlightened personalities. Srimad Bhagavatam gives beautiful description, dear devotees. Now what we are hearing is Bhagavata Pravaha, the flow. If possible, please read them. These Navayogendras, it says that they are beautiful description of what their consciousness is and how they were feeling because of that consciousness. They only saw Krishna everywhere. They didn't see anybody or anything. That is not Krishna. So that's the state of those Navayogendras. And so during that sacrifice of Maharaj Nimi, these Navayogendras, they appeared. Like, when Prabhupada was singing in the Kirtan, like Narada Muni appeared there. We heard that, right? Like that. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. We are hearing about Bhagavatam, King Nimi, some dynasty, some Navayogendras there, then. But our Srila Prabhupada, when he was doing Kirtan, Narada Muni came. That did happen. And we belong to Srila Prabhupada. And we do the Kirtan that Srila Prabhupada gave us. So somebody must be there. Yeah. So, yeah, these Navayogendras came there. And King Nimi says, oh, yes, please, welcome. Hearty welcome to you, you pure devotees. And this is beautiful. King Nimi, he is saying, see, there are 8,400,000 species. Amongst them, it is very rare that one gets a human body. Durlabam manusho deho dehinam kshanabanguraha tatrapi durlabham manye vaikuntha priyadarshanam. Wow. Dear devotees, human body is very rare to obtain. We got that human body. Amongst that, amongst the human beings, this is first of all rare to get. And in this rarity also, tatrapi dhurlabham manyame, even more rarest is even in this human form of life, Vaikunta Priyadarshana. To get the darshana, to get the association of Vaikunta Jana, the pure devotees. Our opportunity, our fortune, Srimad Bhagavatam is saying. What's our fortune? Yeah. So how precious is our every moment in human life? How precious is that? How purposeful is that? How precious is that? Dehinam kshanabanguraihi. This dehinam, this body, kshanabanguraihi, may perish any time. But tatrapi durlabham manni vaikunta priyadarshanam. But the very same body, it can be utilized. I think this particular point was again by Narada Muni somewhere else. Yeah, the very same body, though it is perishable, Prahlada. This is by Prahlada. Yeah, very same body which is perishable can be utilized in going back home, back to Godhead. How? Vaikunta Priyadarshanam, by association with the pure devotees. Yeah, that's the purpose of this human life. Purpose of this human life and the time that we are spending in this human body, this is the purpose. To prepare ourselves for to go back to where we belong. Vaikunta Priyadarshanam, in the association of these pure devotees. Okay. So it is not easy for a conditioned soul. It is rare for a conditioned soul to get a human body, and it is very rarest for a human, for a person, human being, to get the association of a pure devotee, Vaikunta Priyadarshanam. Okay. So far we have heard about the potency of bhakti, and then the rarity of human birth, and the rarest thing is association of pure devotee. Why association of pure devotee? The question is about Bhagavata Dharma, right? What is it that is welfare? So we have here, beautiful one. This is what we're going, highest good. This was the first question. What is the highest good for the humanity? And then here, the answer is coming out as Bhagavata Dharma. Yeah, the Navayogendras, they're starting to explain. Well, when explaining Bhagavata Dharma, why can't they just directly go say, okay, worshipping Bhagwan? Go ahead, start worshipping Bhagwan. It did start like that. It started like, okay, human body is the rarest, and just having human body is not enough. You need Vaikunta Priyadarshanam, the pure devotees. Why like that? Because only bhakti sanjayate bhakti. Bhakti comes only for the bhakta. Bhakti doesn't come from this mind. Bhakti doesn't come from this intelligence, speculations. No, not from us. Bhakti comes from the heart of a bhakta, has to come. Yeah. And that's why Vaikunta Priyadarshanam, the pure devotees. Yeah. So, and now he's explaining. See, this is these 9 sages are their dear devotees. Their names are one after the other. I will just say the names once to purify the ether. But when the flow goes, I'm just going to say the sage said. And these are the names of the sages. Where are they? Yeah, okay. Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pippalayana, Avihotra, Drumila. Yeah, and there are 4 more names, but those are the names. So they are giving the answers one after the other. Okay. So that was the first answer. The first answer is starting about the Bhagavad Dharma, and we have heard about the bhakti coming from Vaikunta Priyadarshanam. Okay, that is very wonderful. And now we have the association of this pure devotee, Bhakti Sanjayate Bhakti. The bhakti from the heart of the bhakta is given to us. What are the glories of this bhakti? Because the question is, what is the most beneficial for the mankind, right? Humankind. So the First, the very words of this sage start like this, dear devotees, when we read Bhagavatam. For somebody to be fearless, they will have to take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Hari. He starts like that. I think Avihotra. He says that. So bhakti is the one that gives fearlessness. Abhaya Charana Aravinda. When we take the shelter of Charana Aravinda, the lotus feet of the Lord, then Abhaya, one becomes fearless. So that's one effect of bhakti. So far we have heard the potency of bhakti, and now the effect of bhakti, the fearlessness. And are there any qualifications to do bhakti? Does somebody have to really do Bhakti Shastri course? Get some Shastric certificate to do bhakti? Or do this service or that service? Or anything like that? The conditions? Even ignorant jivas can practice bhakti given by Lord himself. Even ignorant jivas. It's very beautifully described in further down how bhakti is just very simple and natural. Even ignorant jivas. Like, the Brahmana in the South India, he was not illiterate. They may be ignorant. And, in the pastime of Ramanuja, he was teaching all this, Sri Bhashya and the commentaries to all his disciples. And he was trying to explain him what prapatti means. Prapatti is the surrender, right? So he was trying to explain, and the disciples are hearing and they're asking questions, and Ramanuja is trying to answer him. And Ramanuja thought, this is going nowhere. They have to see what prapatti means. So he goes outside, stands outside. And there was a person, a Chandala, walking on the street. And Sri Ramanuja, he indicates to come to him. Just indicates him to come. A Chandala, untouchable, and Sri Ramanuja is calling him. The Chandala runs coming to Sri Ramanuja, falls at his lotus feet and would not get up. And then Sri Ramanuja, he calls his disciples and then just shows that Chandala and says, that is prapatti. Look at that mood. Look at the faith. He's thinking, Sri Ramanuja is calling me. Then my Vaikunta, my destination Vaikunta is guaranteed. That's the faith that Chandala had. That's the submission that Chandala had. And he clasped the lotus feet of Ramanuja. That's prapatti. How ignorant was he? He didn't even expect that call from Ramanuja. He knew nothing about the Sanskrit grammar, Sri Bhashya, and nothing. That's prapatti. And here are the disciples of Ramanuja. They were so embarrassed because they were running it so theoretically, grammatically, etc. So, bhakti is prapatti and can be done even by ignorant jivas. Just simplicity and prapatti. That's all. And next one, how bhakti is, nothing can go wrong in bhakti. Yan astaya naro rajan na pramatyeta karhichit dhavan nimilya va netre naskhalin napatediha. See, yan astaya naro rajan na pramatyeta karhichit. When dhavan nimilya va netra, even when somebody is running with closed eyes, na pramadyeta, there is no harm at any time. There is no danger at any time. Karhichit, at any time. Naskalen, there is no tripping. Na patediha, there is no falling in bhakti. Wow. What does that mean? It is, everything is auspicious in bhakti. So-called tripping, so-called falling, anything that we might experience is, everything is auspicious in bhakti. There is nothing like tripping or falling in bhakti. We may think, our estimation, but There is nothing that can go wrong in bhakti. Na pramadhyeta karahichit. At any time, there is nothing that can go wrong in bhakti. Wow. Yeah. It's so beautiful to hear these glories of bhakti. There is nothing potent like bhakti. There is nothing that can go wrong in bhakti. There is nothing inauspicious in bhakti. Yeah. And how to do this bhakti? Bhagavat Dharma. This is the one. Yes. It is simple. We heard it, right? Even the ignorant jivas. Nobody really needs tons and tons of shastras and numbers of shlokas and numbers of commentary. No. Just simple. Whatever one does with the senses, with their words, with their actions, if they are doing it, oh Narayana, this is for your pleasure. That is bhakti. This is for your pleasure, my Lord. That is bhakti. Then we are not going into details. This is Bhagavat Pravaha, so we're just saying. We have to, this is bhakti, simple, right? We have to have that strength to be able to speak, to be able to do, saying that this is for your pleasure, my Lord. We have to have that kind of strength and desire to be able to say that all the time. That's where the strength from Guru Tattva comes. Strength from the shelter comes. Yeah. And this is a beautiful shloka, dear devotees. So glad the shloka is here, right here, as we are speaking, where the strength comes from. Here, okay, somebody is practicing bhakti. Why do they have fear? Yeah, bhakti is supposed to make one fearless. Why is it that fear? This. Bhayam dvitiya shat ishadapetasya viparyayo samritihi tanmayayato buddha bhajetam bhaktyayikayesham gurudevatatma. This verse is not given in the slide. This is a beautiful and important shloka. Bhayam dvitiya abhiniveshat syat. This bhayam, fear, is because dvitiya abhiniveshat syat. Because we are seeing something as different from Krishna. If we are seeing anything as different from Krishna, then ishat apetasya viparyayo asamritihi. When a jiva turns away from Krishna and forgets about Krishna, that's when the fear comes. And when the jiva sees anything as separate from Krishna, that's when the fear comes. And to put it in a aligned form that we can apply. When we don't see something happening to us as an arrangement of Krishna, and when we don't see things around us, people around us as Krishnas, then the bhayam comes. Tanmayayato buddha abhajetam. So this is why bhayam comes, because we see something separate from Krishna, and bhayam comes, fear comes, because the jiva turns away from Krishna. That's why, what to do? Tanmayayato buddha abhajetam. So, tanmayayato. This is because of the illusory energy of Krishna, right? Buddha abhajetam, Buddha. That's why the wise people, who intelligent people, bhajet tam bhaktyayikayesham gurudevatatma. Worship tam bhaktyayikayesham. Bhaktya with devotion. Worship who? Worship who with devotion? Bhaktyayika esham Guru. Worship Guru with devotion. And Devatatma, as worship Guru as the Lord himself. So, one who sees his own spiritual master as his Lord and very soul, Guru Devatatma. When we see our Guru, Shri Guru, as our Lord and our soul, and worship him like that, then the fear is gone. So this is the answer. The fear is because we see everything, when we see something as separate from Krishna, or turn away from Krishna. But when we are worshipping Shri Guru, Gurudev, Guru Tattva, the shelter given by the Guru Tattva, worship that shelter. Worship the shelter as the shelter offered by the Lord. And worship that shelter as one's own life and soul. Worship that shelter, the instruction, and definitely the Nama. So that's how the fear will go away. And fearful stage to fearless stage. How does that come? We have already covered that. So fearful stage, fearless stage is fearful stage is seeing things separate from Krishna. And fearless stage is seeing everything as Krishna's. Yeah. Seeing everything as Krishna's can remain theoretical, informational only, without worshipping the shelter that is given to us. Yeah. But when we are ashrita, and when we are in the shelter, joyfully, we were thinking, right, what is it that is joy in the bhakti? The joy of seva, the joy of being in shelter. Yeah. Then the jnana becomes vijnana. All that is being heard as words will become realized with the shelter. Sheltered seva. That also will come soon. Okay, so that is about bhakti, and that's why, see, this is the glory of bhakti. That's why this is the glory of Bhagavata Dharma. And that's why preach this Bhagavata Dharma, impart the knowledge of this Bhagavata Dharma, giving up all the attachments, all the external attachments, giving up the external attachments, preach this Bhagavata Dharma. When somebody's life is dedicated to seva, the external attachments will beautifully just stay in their own place. They don't bother us. When our desire and absorption is seva, then the preaching Bhagavad Dharma will happen. So in this way, attain love of God. In this way, attain love of God. So by attachment to a particular name and form. Here, so that is one answer that we have heard, right? About this. What's the highest good? That is Bhagavad Dharma, Bhakti. And we have heard about the potency of the Bhakti, fearlessness of Bhakti, and how Bhakti is all auspicious, all that. And so, actually, yeah, this is what do we call? The testimony of Bhakti. So, Bhakti, the Bhagavad Dharma, how do we know that Bhagavad Dharma is Pratyakshavagamam Dharmam, experiential? Yeah, is it theoretical, just the knowledge, or Vijnana, realized, experiential? So, not only it is potent, not only it is all auspicious, Bhakti, at every step, there are three things that would happen in Bhakti. Bhakti pareshanubhavo viraktir anyatra chaisa trikayeka kalaha prapadyamanasya yadashnata shyus tushti pushti shudapayo anughasam. This is Pratyakshavagamam. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord said, Bhakti is Pratyakshavagamam. Only one word. One word. Here, the whole definition. of this is what happens when we do Bhakti Bhagavad Dharma. What happens? Bhakti Pareshanubhavar Virakte. When Bhagavad Dharma is done, they will Pareshanubhavar. They will realize Para, Ishvara. They will realize Krishna. They will experience devotion. Simultaneously, they will experience detachment. Viraktiranyatra. Detachment to anything other than loving service to Krishna. That automatically happens. Trika Eka Kala simultaneously automatically happens. How? He's giving the example. Trika Eka Kala Prapadyamanasya. That's the key word there. When we take the prapatti, when we take the shelter, loving subordination, right? Shelter. Then these three things automatically, simultaneously they happen. How do we know it happens? Well, how do we know that we are feeling tushti, satisfied, pushti, energetic, kshudapayo, the hunger pain is gone when we are eating food? How do we know? It happens because we feel it. Tushti, pushti, kshudapayo, anughasam. With every morsel of food that we are taking, we feel satisfied. We feel energetic. And we see that the hunger pain is going away. It happens simultaneously. That's what prapatyamanasya bhakti is. So that is pratyakshavagama. So in this way, a devotee achieves ananya bhakti, detachment and realization. So this is about the glory of bhakti. Beautiful, beautiful. Now the second question. The other sage is answering this question. Sage Prabuddha. Maharaj Nimi's question is, thank you so much for that. It's so wonderful to hear about the glories of bhakti. Now I have a question. See, the devotees who practice bhakti, how many kinds of devotees are there? Can you please say? How will they think? And how do they behave? And to that question, the answer is this. The devotees, they fall in three categories. Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama Adhikari. Kanishta, Madhyama, Adhikari. Yeah. Kanishta is in the beginning stages. Huh? We don't necessarily have to say beginning stage actually. Kanishta is the small thinking. I may be doing bhakti for 30 years, but if my thinking is so small that I see the Lord only as a deity on the altar, but nowhere else, and not in the heart of the people, that small thinking is Kanishta, even if I'm doing 40 years of so-called devotion. So that is Kanishta, small thinking, that the Lord is present only in the deity on the altar. And nobody else, nowhere else. I turn around, and when I see devotees around, no, there is no Lord. That's Kanishta thinking. And when we are fortunate and enough, then we see, oh, it's the same Lord. The Lord that is on the altar is the same Lord. It is said in the scriptures, and he said it again and again. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hruddesha arjuna tishtati. Oh, he said that he's sitting in the heart of all living entities. When we kind of pay a little attention to that, that's madhyamadhikari. That's when we will be a little hesitant to hurt anybody. Then the madhyamadhikari, their behavior is, how is their behavior? The answer to that is, they are friendly with the devotees. They worship the uttamadhikaris. They're friendly with the with their devotees, with the devotees around. And they are merciful to the innocent who don't know about bhakti. They want to impart that, and they disregard the envious. And when disregard the envious, pay no attention to somebody who is being envious. That's Madhyamadikari. Especially this is in book distribution. When you're saying, hey, how are you? And they don't look at you at all. Then we don't run behind them and say, excuse me, I have something to tell you, something to tell you. No, 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 no. He's not ready. His senses are not on. And in Shastric terms, it is envious. Then disregard. Let them go. The time will come when they're receptive. Yeah. Merciful to innocent. Yeah. When they're receptive. Hi, how are you? Yes, how are you? Yes. Now it's the time to say something about Bhagwan. Merciful to innocent. And friendly to devotees around. Yeah. Haribol, Haribol. Uttamadikari. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. For them, there is no place without Krishna. There is no place that is not filled with Krishna, that is not Krishna. Inside out, outside in, everything is Krishna for Uttamadikaris. And this is one more beautiful one, dear devotees, regarding Uttamadikaris. They see, I will read this out, and you please think, how is it that they are naturally like that? They don't have any desire for sense gratification. They don't have any more past bad impressions. And they don't really do anything for result. And they are not proud. And their only position is a servant of Lord. And so these are the qualities of Uttamadikari. Yeah, we read out the list. Lekin kya ho raha hai? Where is that springing from? Uttamadikari is a Sharanagata Bhakta. Two things happen. They depend on the Lord and they're absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. And that's why, by default, all these things are not there. There's no desire for sense gratification. There's nothing thinking about the result. A bad impression is out of question when they are absorbed in the loving service of the Lord. And pride is out of question because they're only seeing Krishna. And for them, there is, so what burning can be present in their heart? Bhagavatam is actually saying that. That was a question mark. It means they're always feeling this soothing relief in their heart. The Uttamadikari. The pain in the Uttamadikari is a different category. There's a lot of pleasure in that pain in the Uttamadikari. Pain for us sadhakas is because we hurt Krishna. Our pain is different. Our pain is because we hurt Krishna. Knowingly, unknowingly. Actually, more of it knowingly only under the influence of modes. But the pain in Uttamadikaris, it is apparently called pain, but that is transcendental. That's a different thing. There is no infliction. There is no infliction in so-called pain of the pure devotees. So when somebody is purified, dear devotees, it's not that pure devotee is a separate label for some devotees. The pure devotees are so potent, so merciful that they purify us. So for a purified devotee, there is no pain. Yeah, there is no infliction. Even though it looks like pain, there is no infliction for a purified devotee. If we are feeling infliction, pain, it is knowingly or unknowingly, then we are hurting the Lord in the heart. Okay. So this Uttamadikari, this is just coming out as a statement here, but the Bhagavatam language was so sweet, flowery, flowy. It says, these Uttamadhikaris, they can never give up the chanting. And they see how the Lord is coming to a jiva, even when the jiva is calling unconsciously. And they see this mercy of the Lord and they get overwhelmed. And with that genuine love, they can't stop chanting. So that is Uttamadhikari, a purified devotee, a pure-hearted devotee. Okay, so we have heard this too, right? Highest good. What is that? Bhagavad Dharma. And 3 kinds of devotees, qualities of them. Yes. And now these 2 ones, they go together. I'm going to just simplify here so you will be able to grasp it well the rest of the time that we have. The next question is going to be, can you please explain what Maya means and how to overcome Maya? Okay. Succinctly, the answer is, Maya is something that makes a jiva wander in samsara. How to overcome Maya is, again, surrender to Guru, perform bhakti. But let's relish this. So now, Antariksha. What is Maya? Maharaj Nimi is asking. Oh, sage Antariksha, would you please tell me what is Maya? Tell us what is Maya. And Shri Antariksha Uvacha. And the next answer to the next question. How can we become free from this Maya grip, please? Nimi is asking. Shri Prabuddha Uvacha. Answer. What are they? Maya is this. Maya is actually, yeah, here it is. First of all, the creation, the whole creation is explained here. That we have heard in the beginning chapters, beginning cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. And so all the material elements are created. Yeah. All the material elements are spread in front, like Jiva is the Tatastha Shakti. On one side is all these material elements. Yeah? When we say material elements, then we are not really tempted. We think, oh, material elements, nothing to do with me. No, the whole world. The whole world that we are pursuing is all the people and things that we are longing for, wanting to interact is, in chemical terms, material elements. So, Jiva is a Tatastha Shakti. On one side is all this world, this material world. Come, interact with me. The senses, the body, the mind, intelligence, ahamkara. Come, be the controller, be the enjoyer. Come, I'm here for you. Material world on one side. Jiva is here, Tatastha Shakti. On the other side is the spiritual realm, the internal energy, right? So Jiva is here as a Tatastha Shakti. And now, what would happen to this Jiva? What will decide if the Jiva is going to enjoy this material energy, or get shelter in the internal energy? Yeah. The desire of the Jiva. The desire of the Jiva. Upadrishtaha anumantaha. Super soul. The Lord is sitting as the super soul and is seeing what is this Jiva actually wanting. This Jiva is saying a lot outside, trying to do a lot outside. Yeah. But what is actually this Jiva wanting? According to that will of the Jiva, super soul inspires either to get entangled in this Maya or get shelter in the internal energy. He's upadrishtaha anumantaha. As you desire, so you get. That's Paramatma. Yeah. So, in this way, Jiva, when it wants to be in this when it is liking to be entangled in this material world, it will just stay entangled. And this is facilitated by the super soul because that's the desire of the jiva, and this is Maya. And what are the activities of Maya that we have heard? The whole creation, the Prakriti, Purusha, and the three Ahankara and the three modes, and all, how the creation took place, and the annihilation of the creation. At the very end of the day of Brahma, the life of Brahma, then the Sankarshana, fire emanates from the mouth of Sankarshana, and Samvartaka clouds come, and then the total annihilation takes place at the end of the life of Brahma, and these are the activities of Maya. So what is Maya? That makes the jiva wants to enjoy, so-called enjoy, entangle in the material world. And the activities of Maya is this, the activities, the mechanics of this material world, the creation and the destruction. Yeah. And, okay. Oh, so sorry, Jiva, you're a Tatastha Shakti. Maybe you didn't know. You didn't know that you were going to be entangled in this trap of Maya. You didn't know how much this is Dukkalayam Shashvatam. And you didn't know this is Vishame Bhavam Buddha. And you want to come out now? What can you do? Well, you have tried enough. Here, Sri Prabhupada, he was saying, this jiva, conditioned jiva, so beautifully he said, always tries to increase the pleasure and decrease the distress. Yes, dear devotees, is that familiar to us? Try to increase the pleasure, try to decrease the distress. And then Sri Prabhupada says, but what happens to this conditioned jiva is exactly opposite to that. Always the distress is going up and the pleasure is coming down. Wow. How did he know? This is the world of conditioned life, right? So, and how to come out of this grip of Maya? And for that, the solution: approach a guru, ask him about the highest good. Yeah. Finally, whatever the question may be, the solution is coming to this only. This is tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadikshanti te jnanam jnanina tattva darshina. That's the solution. Yeah. Okay. Here it is very concisely said, but in, it says beautifully. Approach a guru, submit yourself to guru, systematically learn the science of devotional service and practice devotional service. Who is that, please? Try not doing that. I think the mouse is going on. Darshan Patel's Prabhu's mouse is involuntarily going on the slide. If somebody can do something about it, please. Thank you. And yeah. So duties. Prabhupada answers Maya's grip. Okay, approach. Yeah. So learn the science of devotional service and practice the devotional service. When does it happen? Learning the science of devotional service. All the learning will just remain knowledge only, information only, until Tatvidi Pranipatena. Pranipatena Pariprashnena happens. That we have to remember. Okay. Then, okay. Now, you see this. Yeah. Now, this is actually explain whatever we have discussed. Accept Guru as one's life and soul. This is, Srimad Bhagavatam is pretty clear, dear devotees. Pretty clear about the definition of bhakti from beginning to the end and every word of it. Even if Sri Prabhupada is speaking, Sri Prahlada Maharaja is speaking, and even when Lord Krishna is speaking, Mam eva ye prapatyante, you have to take prapatti. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prahlad Maharaj saying, Arpita Bhakti, iti pumsan arpito Srinvat Smaranam. Iti pumsan arpita. Srila Prahlad Maharaj says Arpita Bhakti. Here also Sri Iti pumsarpita Vishnu bhaktische navalakshanam. Pumsa arpita Vishnu arpita. Here Sri Prabhupada is saying the same thing. Accepting Guru as one's life and soul. So it's not that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura is saying Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Te Kuriya Aikya. That is actually Srila Narottam Das Thakura. It's not that they are saying that is what the procedure is. Yeah, accept Guru as one's life and soul, and then this is that Vidi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya. Okay, so that is the first process. That's what we do. First thing we do is that is the first thing, dear devotees. Prapatti is the first thing. And only then what we are making, what we are doing in bhakti will make more sense. That's first thing. And second thing is, the dealings with the junior, equal, and superior. We have heard that. Worship the superior, friendly with the equal, merciful to the junior. Yeah. And then the qualities of a devotee. This is very nice, dear devotees. I want to bring our attention to especially these two ones. Yeah, cleanliness is there, austerity is there. Tolerance. And equal vision and satisfied in all situations. Tolerance, satisfied in all situations. Yeah, those qualities, Vaishnavas. Yeah. So, yeah. And how can we become free from Maya? So, when we do this, accepting Guru as one's life and soul, and then with Prapatti, when that is more like a procedural thing, right? And what do we do in this bhakti? Associate. First is offer everything in Lord's service. Again, it's the same thing. Offering everything to Guru and Krishna is offering everything to Guru and Krishna. It may sound like, do I have to give up my everything that I have? But that's more to do with our internal total subordination, loving subordination. Offering everything in Lord's service. And what do? Associate with devotees through Sankirtan. Come together and glorify the Lord. The magic. Come together and glorify the Lord. And in this way, the disciple achieves love of Godhead and easily crosses Maya. Does this sound familiar to us? And this is the treasure that we are given and that we are doing. So we want to be joyful about it. We want to cherish it and be joyful about that. Yeah. And the other things, this is, we can go through quickly. What is the transcendental situation of Narayana? This is explaining about the, a Brahman and Paramatma. So some details about Brahman, 3 modes, all this we have heard, not elaborating on that. And this is a good one. So Brahman is consciousness. The consciousness is present in 4 stages. We have heard this before. Jagruti, Swapna, Sushupti, Turiya. The consciousness is present in all these 4 stages. The Turiya stage of consciousness is a purified consciousness, where there are no impression of the modes or mind. That's a little more explanation on Brahman or consciousness. And Next thing is, yeah. So, and after that, there is description about the Paramatma, the Lord in the heart. Okay. And this is the final one. Okay. Now that it is established how Narayana is beyond the modes, after establishing Lord's supremacy, now the sage, the saint, he tells how to realize Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Dear devotees, this is something for us. The knowledge, we hear it. We hear it from the YouTube and so many channels. Knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. Information box, information box. So much filled and so much overwhelmed information box. The knowledge is made realized when we are serving, practice bhakti. Service, practicing bhakti. And what's the whole point of practicing bhakti? Is to take us to the point of prapatti. And before that, that is all to purify us of the gunas that we have inside. As long as we have these agitating and sinking energies within, the knowledge is more like knowledge. Information is more like knowledge. But as we continue to voluntarily put the efforts prayerfully with the sheltered service, grateful sheltered service, then all that dirt will be washed away. There's no other way to wash that dirt, dear devotees. That's why the potency of bhakti, the potency of devotional service, only potency of devotional service can do that like that. Then as we get, as our consciousness is washed away of this impression under the sheltered service, then we will be able to realize Lord's form. Okay, so that's one thing. And final but one thing. Next question. Okay, this is all very wonderful. We have heard about bhakti, about the devotees, and about the transcendental situation of Narayana. This is all for somebody who is inclined to hear about bhakti, want to do bhakti. And if somebody is thinking, these people always talk about bhakti. Yeah. Life is only, one time life. Got to enjoy. There has to be balance in life. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I want to do a little bit of this also. A little bit of enjoyment. I want that too. Okay, I'll do a little bhakti, fine. But I want a little bit of enjoyment too. So please do not tell me surrender to Guru and Krishna. For them, what do you say? That was the question from Nimi. And Shri Avihotra, he replies, okay, no problem. We have a place for them too. That is Karma Yoga. That is Varnashrama. Whatever their tendency may be. Yeah. Okay. Let them enjoy in a regulated way. In the Varna, in whatever Varna they are situated, in whatever ashrama they are situated. Let them do their enjoyment in a regulated way. But see that their occupational duties are in a way that is pleasing to Vishnu. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Varnashrama Vibhagashaha. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Yeah. So say the Brahmana is there. The maintenance, yes, the maintenance, he can teach. He can teach and he will be maintained, and with whatever money he's getting, he can eat whatever he likes. Okay. And Kshatriya is there. He wants fame. Okay, fine. He will enjoy the fame. Let him do the administrative and ruling job. Yeah. Let him do his occupation nicely. Let him rule the citizens in a religious way. So Hari is pleased and he can get the enjoyment of fame, prestige, and whatever royal happiness he wants to get. Fine. Let him get that also. But let him do his duty in a way that the Lord is pleased. Like that. For each one, for the Sudra and for the Vaishya. For the Vaishya, okay. He wants to earn some profit. Okay, fine. And he wants to do business. Okay, fine. He can do the business, but do it in a way that it's not cheating to others. And then with whatever he gets, whatever enjoyment he wants to do, fine. But let the occupation duties be in a way that is pleasing to Hari, Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, in a regulated way, since enjoyment is Varnashrama. They are not ready for surrender to Guru and Krishna. So for them, that's Varnashrama. But the whole point is, this is all Pravritti Marga is finally to come to Nivritti Marga. This is regulated sense gratification, Varnashrama. Why regulated? Why can't they just do it all in the human body? What will happen? Do it all. They'll be head deep down into the modes in the miserable condition. So regulation means that something not wanted, but because you want to do it, you will let you do a little bit. That's regulation. It means you become better, so there is no regulation needed on what you want to do. Right? So regulated means sooner or later, it's better for you to get rid of it. So pravritti marga is to come to the nivritti marga. Nivritti marga is the process of attachment to the Lord, liberation. So some information about so that's how the sense gratifiers are slowly over a period of time through Varnashrama Dharma. When they get in touch with the devotees of the Lord, then they would slowly come into the Nivritti Marga or Bhakti Marga. In this way, they can approach Guru and worship deity. See, again, finally they have to come here. For whatever period of time, how many lives it may be, they can continue that Varnashrama Dharma until that soul wants to be in this illusory happiness. They will be in that Varnashrama Dharma, and when the soul is ready, then that soul approaches Guru and starts worshipping deity. And here he says that deity, each soul can get attracted to a particular form of the Lord. Yeah, Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, Krishna, some particular form of the Lord. Yeah. And here the process of deity worship is the 2 points are given. Why do the deity worship? Deity worship, to keep it simple, well, just stick on to Bhagavad Pravaha. So here deity worship absorbed. Our attitude when we do the deity worship is to be absorbed, in our identification as the eternal servant of the Lord. And worshipping the Lord, thinking the deity is the Lord in the heart, super soul. So that is what the deity worship is meant for. To reinforce and establish in that fact that I am the servant of this Lord, the Supreme Lord. And this Supreme Lord is on the altar, and he is in the heart of all living beings. To establish, reinforce that particular reality, truth. That's what the deity worship is meant for. Okay. So when somebody does the deity worship like that, it says, as one achieves liberation. Yeah, the final part, dear devotees. Now that the saint said, the devotee will be attracted after approaching Guru, start deity worship, right? So then Maharaj Nimi is asking, when you said attraction to particular form of the Lord, can you tell me about different forms of the Lord, different incarnations of the Lord? Then comes all these incarnations. Yeah, Leela Avataras, Guna Avataras. And here, there's a description about Naranarayana Rishi. Quickly, one thing about Naranarayana Rishi here is, Indra sends Apsarasas in order to disturb the meditation of Narayana there. And Narayana, knowing what Indra is trying to do, Indra didn't realize that it was Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Narayana was laughing within himself. And when the Indra came there and all these Apsarasas came there, and Narayana, he manifested super beautiful forms of ladies from his own self and said, okay, Indra, you're trying to see that if I can be under the influence, you, Cupid, yeah, but now you select. Who do you want? I have all these beautiful ladies here. Okay, you select now. So may is that Urvashi? I think Urvashi. Yeah, that's she is the form that came from this creation of the Lord and was placed in the heaven. All of them respectfully followed her, Urvasi. So that was a pastime there. And these are the different other incarnations too. And this is in response to the question of, can you tell all the forms of the Lord? You said worship the deity, right? So that's the answer. Last one, 2 shlokas. And we wanted to save our attention till here. Yes. Okay, there's one more question, of course. What happens to those who are non-devotees and don't want to worship the Lord and want to turn away from the Lord? And the answer is, on this big table of what are the qualities of non-devotee. I could read this table, but it cannot be so encouraging to us. I'm just going to leave it like that. And so this is some information about the non-devotees. Okay, we'll leave that one. The last one, yes. So the forms of the Lord in different yugas. In Satya Yuga, Shveta Avatara. Treta Yuga, Rakta Avatara, red color. Dwapara Yuga is Krishna, the blue color. Yeah. And in Satya Yuga, the way of meditation is by austerity, Ashtanga Yoga. In Treta Yuga, it is through fire sacrifice. In Dwapara Yuga, it is through deity worship. And what about Kali Yuga? Here comes Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Really? Gauranga Mahaprabhu stated in Srimad Bhagavatam? Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yajnai Sankirtana Praye Yajantihi Sumedasaha. After giving these forms in these 3 different yugas, what are those forms? Yeah, Hamsavatara and Prishnigarbha and Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna there. Here the in Kali Yuga. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. Krishna. He is Krishna. But the Varnam is Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. But he is not dark blue in color. Tvisha Krishnam. And he is Sango Pangastra Parshadam. Sanga Upanga. His Anga, he has Anga and Upanga. Hand is like Anga, Upanga are the fingers. So all his associates and the associates of the associates, Parshadam are associates. So his associates are like Anga and Upanga. So he has direct associates and associates of his associates. What are they doing? Yajna Sankirtana Prayer. They are doing Sankirtana Yajna. Yajantihi Sumedasaha. All those who are Sumedaha, who has good intelligence, they take part in this Sankirtana Yajna. Wow, Prabhupada, what did you give us? Gauranga Mahaprabhu, what did you give us? And the final verse. What happens? What is the beautiful effect of Gauranga Mahaprabhu? Deyam sada paribhav, Deyam sada paribhavajnam abhishta dosham. Deyam sada paribhavajnam abhishta doham. Tirthaspadam Shiva Virinchinutam Sharanyam Vrityartyaham Pranatapala Bhavabdipotam Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam. Oh, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Charanaravindam. Ah, bowing down to Charana Aravindam of Sri Mahapurushate. Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Dhyayam Sada Paribhavagnam. Here the meaning is here. Dhyayam Sada, meditate continuously. Oh, Jiva, Dhyayam Sada, meditate continuously. Paribhavagnam. Paribhavagnam is, Paribhava is the pain that is caused by the humiliation and the insult. For Jiva to be in this body and to be controlled by this mind, this polluted intelligence, is a great humiliation. Such a humiliation and pain for the Jiva, pure Jiva. Paribhavagnam, Agnam, he destroys that. Yeah, he saves the Jiva from that humiliation, from that pain. Abhishta doham. Yeah. Abhishta doham, true desire is rewarded. Yeah, so saves from humiliation. And abhishta doham, or the abhishta is true desire. Doham is given, rewarded. Tirthaspadam Shiva Virinchinutam Sharanyam. He is even Shiva, Virinchi, Brahma, they take the Sharanyam of the lotus feet of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Bhrityartyaham Pranatapala Bhavabdipotam. Oof. Bhrityartyaham. Bhritya are the surrendered devotees. Bhrityartyaham, relieve the devotees of distress. Bhrityartyaham Pranatapala. Pranata is who have surrendered to. Pala is who? Master. Yeah. The master of the surrendered devotees, who maintains the surrendered devotees and relieves the distress of the devotees. Bhavabdi Potam. Potam is the boat. Bhava Abdi, ocean of the material modes. And is a boat to take us across the ocean of these material modes. So, oh dear Mahapurusha, my dear Lord. Charanaravindam, one day, Charanaravindam, going down to your lotus feet. That's Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Dhyayam sada paribhavagna abhishtadoham tirthaspadam shiva virinchinutam sharanyam Vrityatiham pranatapala bhavabdipotam vande mahapurushate charanaravindam. That's all. This particular shloka just holds good for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Rama and Lord Krishna too. That's all, dear devotees. So those are the teachings of the Navayogendras. And finally, they had to end how glorious this bhakti is. Devarshi bhutaptan rinam pitrinam nakinkaro nayam rinicharajan sarvatmanaya sharanyam gato mukundam parihatya kartam. And this has to come as a final one. There is no other debt, nothing else to be done. When somebody is doing Arpita Bhakti, Sharanagata Bhakti to Govinda, Sarvatmana Sharanyam, who is taking the shelter of Sarvatmana, the Lord in the heart that is present in everybody, Gato Mukundam Parihatya Kartim. There is nothing else that needs to be done. No other rites that are to be performed. In this way, Narada Muni explains all this to Vasudeva and says, oh, Vasudeva, you are very fortunate. The Supreme Lord has come to you as a child. Yeah, but these are the glories of Lord Krishna. So that's the conversation, instruction of Narada Muni to Vasudeva. That's all, dear devotees. So let's see. from the bhajans, how the bhajans are like, the morsels of the food that are so lovingly fed by mother. That was one point. And in Bhagavad Pravaham, yeah. So 11th canto is Mukti, named Mukti. And then the first one, we just heard about how the scene was set. Because the Lord is thinking, the sequence has happened outside, right? How the boys were mocking and the curse was given. That is there. And now coming to these Vasudeva, Narada Muni, when he asks the question, Narada Muni says, the potency of bhakti, the potency of bhakti. 3 things plus 4. Shrinvatam. And then, so hearing and glorifying and thinking and taking pleasure in the devotional service of others, glorifying theirs. When these are done with faith and respect, then anybody, any living entity that is envious on this planet, then they will be purified. Potency of bhakti. Second thing is, fearlessness is, and the effects of bhakti. Effect of bhakti is fearlessness. And there we have heard about why fear. Because when we see something separate from Krishna, then there is fear. When we see everything as Krishna's arrangement and everything as Krishna's, then there's no fear. And for that, what to be done to actually come to that state? There, taking shelter of Guru. Yeah, that was mentioned there, because it's not easy to come to that state of everything is Krishna's. So taking shelter of Guru, that was there. And that's about the potency. And let's come to the slides so we can. So how the human body. So this is the potency of bhakti. Yeah. And second thing is the how valuable is this? Every moment of this human body. How valuable is this? And how bhakti comes from the heart of the bhakti, association of the devotees, association of pure devotees, and that pure devotees, their purity is carried through the rest of us, the devotees. So association of the devotees. And bhakti gives fearlessness. And the power of bhakti, everything that happens in bhakti is auspicious. There is nothing inauspicious that happens in bhakti, though we may look at it like that. Bhakti is all about auspiciousness. Bhakti is all about potency. And what qualification is needed? Even the ignorant people can do it, right? With their body, mind, and words, whatever they could offer as a token of pleasure to the Lord. That is bhakti. And why fear? That we have heard when we see something separate from Krishna. So, and that's why do not see anything separate from Krishna. And restrict to your mind from illusion. That is the instruction given by the sage. And we know, restrict from mind from illusion. If that is so simple, that's where we have heard. Here, see, this is the shloka. The whole shloka is not here. This is the one, Bhaktaika Yesham Guru Devatatma. This is the shloka. Otherwise, how would anybody come to that fearless stage at all? Tanmaya yato buddha bhajetam bhaktaika yesham Guru Devatatma. That's not ordinary. I mean, it's not like, attachment to Guru and respect to Guru. No, Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, bhajet, worship, tam bhaktya eka isham. Worship Guru as the Lord himself and as your life and soul. That's when bhayam dvitiya abhiniveshat shat, that the bhayam goes away. That's when it is possible to see everything as Krishnas, everybody's as Krishnas. Until then, it is information that we have heard. And then, well, bhakti, can we feel it? The definition, the whole definition of bhakti. Three things: tushti, pushti, kshudapaya. So, bhakti when done, Bhagavad Dharma when done, there is a realization of Krishna, and experience of devotional joy, simultaneous detachment to anything, not concerned with bhakti. So, detachment to material things, that we have heard. And then three kinds of devotees, we have heard of that. And Uttamadhikari, we have heard about how he's dependent on Krishna and absorbed in loving, joyful service of Krishna. And yeah, this is a good one to summarize actually. So that done, and the activities of Maya and how to overcome Maya. Finally, it's the same thing. You're here in the activities of Maya. It's the desire of the jiva. The deep desire, what do we have? Paramatma knows well. Accordingly, we will be guided. And then how to change the desire? Kya karna hai? If desire is the deciding factor, I cannot say myself, I want to change my desire. I want to, nay. Whoever has that big desire, we have to associate with that big desire people, the pure devotees whose only desire is Krishna. So our desire changes when we hear from them. Their desire gets rubbed off on us. That's the only way to to change our desire. From whom the desire is big. Okay. And then, yeah. And pravritti, the varnashrama dharma. And slowly they will also come to nivritti marga. Yeah, we have. And finally, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the incarnation of this Kali Yuga. And what are those merciful Audarya effects of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? That also we have heard. We'll pause here, dear devotees. Didn't elaborate much since we have already elaborated in the Katha. Yeah. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna. Something from you.